Breaking news, Marshawn Lynch is out at least 1 month with a groin injury. And even more shocking news, the Jaguars acquire Carlos Hyde in a trade from the Cleveland Browns. We're going to be discussing that. We're going to be previewing Week 7, going over my DFS NFL picks. And this week we're having several giveaways, so stay tuned. What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. These are my NFL DFS picks for Week 7. We're having a completely different giveaway this week for every person that enters. Yes, whether you win or lose, everybody who enters is going to get a Couch swag pack. Every person who enters will get this automatically. No cheating though, I will check. The person who scores the most fantasy points in this contest, just out of all the people who enter on my contest, not the GPP, will win an NFL jersey. So we're having a giveaway that's twice as sweet as usual. All you got to do, guys, is follow the link below in the description or go to cryptofantasysports.com. Once you're logged in, once you're signed up, go to contest, then click lobby, and we're going to enter the first one right here, the very first contest, NFL touchdown 200K. So click enter your team. Like I said, every person that enters will get a Couch swag pack. The highest scoring Couch fam will get an NFL jersey. Just comment below your CFS username and I will be checking to make sure you're not cheating. Okay, on to the picks. For quarterbacks, Jared Goff is the safest quarterback to own, but I feel like we can save a little bit there. He's the most expensive quarterback as well. Now, there are only 10 games in the main slate, so it's a little bit more slim pickings than usual. There's lots of bye weeks, and there's the Sunday night game and the Monday night game. I like Brady in a GPP. Super risky. The matchup is super tough, and he's not playing at home. So if you want to take a risk, you can go with Brady. Should be a contrarian pick because he's expensive and the matchup's not good. A lot of people will be staying away from him. Now, a guy I like in all formats, the price is okay, is Baker Mayfield. I don't think his injury is too bad. Just make sure you keep tabs on that. The price at $5,800 going against the Buccaneers could be a little bit of a shootout here. Buccaneers defense not that good, and this could be Mayfield's best game of his NFL career, at least statistically. Let's see how he does. I'd be willing to take a risk on him for only $5,800. Moving on, Drew Brees, same exact boat as Tom Brady, but much cheaper. The matchup is not ideal, but the Ravens, they prey on young quarterbacks. They prey on quarterbacks that don't have a lot of experience. They like to blitz a lot, and they don't really care. They're bold, man, and there's one guy who can definitely torch this defense, and that's Drew Brees. I think Brees will have success Week 7, and the Ravens are pretty good against the run too, so it's not like he can just hand it off to Ingram every play and that's going to win the game. It's not going to happen. Joe Flacco, check marks in all boxes. The price is absolute cheap. It's near minimum price. The matchup is there going against the Saints. Horrible defense, and he's gonna need to do something. The offense is gonna need to do something. Like when you're going against Breeze, you can't just be like, we're not gonna do anything, we'll let the defense take care of it. That's not gonna be the case. So I like him in all formats, whether cash or GPP. I like him as a punt. I like him as a value pick. I like him, man. He's priced a little bit too cheap. This is an inaccurate price for a guy like Flacco. I like him a lot. Oh, another guy. I almost forgot about this guy. I want to talk about Mitchell Trubisky. Just priced at $200 more than Flacco. I do like him going against the Patriots. Howard has been a bust. So unless you have faith in Howard, I think Mitchell Trubisky is the one that's going to have to win this game. Similar to Flacco, he's going against Brady on the other side. So they're just not going to be able to win this by giving the ball to Howard. They're going to need to throw the ball to win this game. The offense is going to need to do something. Mitchell Trubisky has a good matchup and should be a decently high-scoring game. They will need to throw the ball in the fourth quarter, the Bears, that is. And I guess I'll do this. C.J. Beathard. I think the floor is non-existent with him, meaning that it's the riskiest quarterback to pick. They're going to need to throw the ball. I have not much faith in Beathard. But at this price, man, if you want to punt for a quarterback and you want a contrarian pick, there's none better than Beathard. I don't know why. When I look at the name Beathard, I can't say better. There's none better than Beathard. Priced at $4,800. Let's just call it minimum priced. Going against the Rams, tough defense, but like I said, they will have to throw the ball. They can't just run the ball against the Rams. No way they're winning that game by running the ball. Running backs, I'm definitely picking Todd Gurley this week. He's going to be worth it, priced at $9,800. Last week I said he's probably not worth it at $10,000, and pretty much I was wrong. Yeah, there was other options like Connor, Melvin Gordon, a couple other running backs that did very well, but as far as being a safe running back, he's worth the price. And because of this Carlos Hyde news, we're going to be able to afford him. I just wanted to mention Alvin Kamara really quick, not saying you should pick him or not pick him or anything like that, but he does have some knee concerns. The Saints are concerned about his knee. I think that might be all healed up. Now, this wasn't mainstream news. This is just rumors I'm hearing from Louisiana. It was reported to be on NOLA.com, so this may not be the case. He may be healed up by now, but just wanted to throw that out there. Definitely watch and see if Kamara is getting snaps and how he looks. Because they just had a bye week, but it was pretty weird to see him only get like 6 fantasy points the week before, so that was week 5, and Ingram was getting a lot of work, so just keep tabs on Kamara and his knee. Who else we got? I think we're going to save up, so we go Gurley, and then we save up with some cheap options. So the most expensive running back out of the cheap options is Kerryon Johnson. $4,500 with Theo Riddick out. Kerryon Johnson is a good start, has a good matchup going against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are okay against the pass and not okay against the running backs. LeGarrette Blount's there, but other than that, it's really Kerryon Johnson. I like him this week. Maybe a little bit of a contrarian pick with all that's going on. Who else we got? Buck Allen priced at the same price range. Maybe the Ravens need to hurry up in the fourth quarter and throw the ball. Alex Collins is not in that hurry up package. Marlon Mack, somewhat of a, not really a sleeper. A lot of people are going to be on him this week. Colts are favored to win. Maybe Marlon Mack gets a few goal line carries. That means he could get a few goal line touchdowns. Duke Johnson, since this is full PPR, Duke Johnson's priced at $4,000, and this is an absolute steal with no Hyde there. I like him, and the obvious one, who's going to be chalk. I mean, this comes to no shock to anybody. Border RB1 territory. So now this guy is automatically a top 15 running back this week, every week, moving forward. Nick Chubb, priced at $3,600. That's basically minimum price. Minimum price is $3,000, so that's basically minimum price. This is going to be the most chalk running back of all time in the history of DFS, or at least this year. Okay, price $3,600. Going against the Buccaneers. Chubb is now a workhorse. There's no other way to put it, and that price is so cheap. If you compare it to like Gurley, that's almost a third of Gurley's price. That's how cheap he is. It's just crazy. Yeah, man. I think he'll be owned like in 85% of lineups or something like that. Like, you have to pick him. Even in GPP, I think you own him. Let's say you have 10 GPP lineups. Most of them should have Chubb in there. I would say at least 7 should have Chubb in there. Eat the chalk, even in GPP. And because we got guys like Chubb and maybe even Flacco, I think we're able to splurge a little bit on a wide receiver. I'd put it like this. Maybe pick 3 running backs. So at your flex, go ahead and start a running back if you want. But at wide receiver, man, I think you got to have at least one expensive one. And why not Adam Thielen going against one of the worst cornerbacks on the Jet? He just has great matchups against slots and slot cornerbacks, and maybe they play zone to try to beat him, but I mean, he knows how to beat zone as well. So you pick man, you lose because he's got a matchup against the weak cornerback. You play zone, he's going to win because he knows how to beat zone. It's a win-win for Thielen. I think he's got a high floor and he's got a pretty good ceiling. Whoever else you want to pick, there's tons of other wide receivers you can pick that are pretty expensive. But let's move down to Alshon Jeffrey. I think this is a good value pick as far as a guy who gets a lot of targets, a lot of receptions, has touchdown upside, has a good quarterback throwing to him in Carson Wentz. At this medium price level, 6,300 is really good. Look, I like Jarvis Landry. I can talk about every Browns player. Like, I think you need to target this Browns-Bucks game. Not sure how you want to do it. I'm definitely doing it with Nick Chubb. Maybe you want to throw in Callaway. Maybe Jarvis Landry was a bit overpriced. Something there. Mike Evans. I think you need to put something there in that game because one of those offenses, if not both, they're going to score touchdowns. I think you got to target that game. Maybe not heavily. Maybe not super stack them with Mayfield and Winston or nothing like that. But I think you should have at least one player from that game, if not two. Who else we got here? Look, Edelman's the safe one as far as New England wide receivers. But I like Josh Gordon here. I went on the last podcast and said Josh Gordon, bold prediction. He's going to get 2 touchdowns. And why not? No cornerback can really defend him. He's a talented wide receiver and definitely a threat to get a touchdown with his height, with his athleticism, and his hands. Man, this guy, I don't see how he's not scoring this week. Tough matchup, though. And I think people are going to be too scared to pick him. Look, I see some picks this week that even I'm too scared to pick. But Josh Gordon, nah. I'm not that scared. I'm not that scared to pick him. I'll go for it. Man, Josh Gordon, priced at $5,600. That's really good. This questionable tag is probably more of a formality. Will just scare even more people away from picking Josh Gordon. So if you like Tom Brady, might as well stack him with Gordon. Nobody's going to get that stack, man. Nobody, but I'll be the only person with that stack. And maybe you too, because you're watching this video. Taylor Gabriel. I got a good feeling about my homie Turbo. Going against the Patriots. I don't know. I just love that matchup always when he's going against the Patriots. I feel like he can beat them in several ways. And this week at $4,700, that's not a bad price. I already talked about Callaway. Quite the boom or bust player here, like super boom or bust. He's been pretty much all bust. But man, with his speed and without much competition there, we know Corey Coleman's gone. We know Josh Gordon's gone. And Rashad Higgins is injured. Like, come on, Callaway, you got to do something. And this is basically minimum price. But the floor is completely non-existent here. If you want some floor, you want a floor, you want someone safer. And I feel like this is a great pick in cash games, a cheap pick. And this is how we're going to do it, guys. If you want Gurley, if you want Thielen, you're going to need a guy like Jermaine Kearse, who has an excellent floor. Not bad ceiling either, just a great value pick. Sam Darnold's going to target Jermaine Kearse. Jermaine Kearse is going to have a good matchup against the Vikings. Now, Vikings, of course, they're a good defense and a good match against the Jets. But I mean, his personal matchup against, not going to be guarded against the best cornerbacks on the Vikings, and he'll be heavily targeted. Absolutely love this pick. But like I said, if you want to do more of a high-risk GPP, you go Callaway. You want to do something cheaper and safer, you go Jermaine Kearse. And Willie Snead, very similar to what I just said about Jermaine Kearse. Willie Snead, he's going to get targets, and he's going to be matched up against one of the worst cornerbacks in the entire league. The Saints went and got the Eagles' old slot cornerback, but that guy's injured. So Snead's going to be likely matched up against the Saints' weakest cornerback, and we know the Saints' defense, especially against the pass, is not that good to begin with. So he's got a great matchup, great price, dang near minimum price, and like we talked about, Flacco will likely need to throw the ball. How about a stupid GPP, cheap pick? How about that? One more, right? Cameron Meredith. I think this is going to be the best punt option for wide receivers. Okay, Callaway, I said boom or bust. That's 4,400 though. Cameron Meredith is 600 cheaper than Callaway. So this is my absolute cheapest wide receiver I would consider picking, and he's been getting more and more targets every week. So the first week he really played, he got 1 reception. Then the next week, 3 receptions. And then the week after that, 5 receptions. So that's why I like Cameron Meredith. Maybe he gets 7 receptions. And that, my friends, that means he'll reach value. For tight ends, other than really Zach Ertz, we have a total guess game here. So spend up on Zach Ertz if you can. Okay, that means you need like Nick Chubb or someone in there. Jermaine Kearse, it'll help you. You know, Flacco, you'll be able to afford Zach Ertz. Ebron, he'll get a lot of targets. Waiting for him to have one bad game though. Like, I feel like he's got to have one bad game, right? He's just balling every week. What's up with this guy? But Jack Doyle is out. He's good. I really like Kittle. I think more people are going to be off him because, look, he's been a little bit sliding down, a little bit 13, went 27 points on fire, then 13 points, and then a dismal 7 points last week. This week he should do really well. Remember Beathard and Kittle, guys, they were college teammates. And Jordan Reed, I really like him in GPPs because I'm not too sure how he's going to do. But what I do know is everyone on Washington is injured. AP's questionable, Chris Thompson's questionable, and even more important, guys like Crowder are out. Paul Richardson is doubtful, and from what I don't think he's going to play. He's basically consider him out. They're just so banged up that I see Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis both taking a lot of snaps and being heavily involved in the pass game. I expect to see a lot of 2 tight end sets this week. So Vernon Davis, cheap GPP pick, and Jordan Reed, more expensive contrarian GPP pick. Who I like a lot this week is Njoku. Heavily targeted by Baker Mayfield. Seems to be his favorite target. They seem to be on the same page. They have the most chemistry. The guy, obviously, tight end, has touchdown upside. The price is okay. It's not expensive nor cheap, but the matchup is amazing. And in that same game, we have O.J. Howard, who's a super cheap option. Really, the only guy who no tight end's really reliable, except maybe Zach Ertz. Like, I don't really consider any tight ends reliable, especially this year. But if I were to say he's the cheapest of the reliable tight ends would be O.J. Howard. The man's really good, has a good matchup. Look, the Browns have really good defense overall, but I don't think they're good at guarding the tight end position, especially a guy like O.J. Howard. And when it comes to defenses this week, completely just spend whatever you can afford. If you need to go down and get a cheaper defense, just do it. Who cares? They're so inconsistent. You thought tight ends were difficult to predict. Defenses this week are going to be even more difficult to predict. Yes, the Jaguars are number 1 defense if I had to rank them. But rankings are not that valuable. Yes, it's good to rank them. It's good to know who's the best, who's the worst. But really, how much confidence do I have in this number 1 ranking Jacksonville Jaguars? Not much. Look, they're at home. I see them having a huge bounce back game. This Texans-Jaguars game will be low scoring, yada, yada, yada. But for the most expensive defense, I just can't rely on them. You guys saw what happened last week against the Cowboys. Like I said, I don't expect that to happen at all again. But this week, there's just no defenses that I can say, okay, I really, I have strong conviction with this defense. Rams are good. Vikings are good. Like I said, the Vikings defense has not been playing well, but going against the Jets, I think this is going to be a good matchup. I think Sam Darnold is not going to do well against the Vikings D. Colts, very good defense this week, going against the Bills. And look, yes, there's no Nathan Peterman, so it's not going to be as sexy, as fun to start the Colts D, but the Bills are starting Derek Anderson, who just got signed just over a week ago. There's no way he does that well, even against the Colts D. So I love them. I think this is one of the best value picks this week at 3,300. Going against the Bills. The Bills should not score a lot of points. And some cheaper options, we have the Lions going against the Dolphins. Everyone hates on the Dolphins every week, and they ball out. But maybe they can stop Osweiler. One team can do it, it's got to be the Lions. Wait, did I just click on the Dolphins? I meant the Lions. The Lions D, yes. The Lions 2,400. Some people are picking the Bills D. I would not recommend that. I have a cheaper option. The New York Jets defense going against the Vikings. I don't trust this D. Like I say, man, if you really love your lineup, you got Gurley, you're feeling confident, just go start the Jets D. Like, who cares, man? 2,100, just punt it. Hopefully they don't give you negative points or anything like that. I like the Jets D, dude. But I like the price more. It's more about the price. I just feel like they're so much better than all these cheaper price defenses. I'd rather go with them. But that's really a punt, guys. So just to be clear, don't have much faith in the Jets D, but for their price, I think it's a good value pick. And for those of you that like kickers, my top ranked kickers in order is number 1, Greg Zuerlein, number 2, Justin Tucker, number 3, Butker, number 4, Dan Bailey, number 5, Vinatieri. I like him this week going against the Bills. And if you want some more, number 6, Prater, and number 7, Gostkowski. Those are all my DFS picks, guys. Remember, the salary cap is the exact same as DraftKings, so if you see a player here that's 5,000, they're going to be 5,000 on DraftKings. Make sure you guys follow the link below and enter this week's GPP. Everybody who enters will get a couch swag pack. Guaranteed. As long as you don't cheat, as long as you're telling the truth, I will check. And the person who scores the most, that comments below your username and scores the most, will get an NFL jersey of your choice. Really, anything you want on NFLshop.com that's $100 or less. That's the most I can afford. Last week's winner. Let's go over last week's winner. Congratulations, Randy Wilson. You won an NFL jersey. So congrats, man. Go ahead and hit me up. Let me know which jersey you want on NFLshop.com. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel and our second YouTube channel. We have 2 YouTube channels. That's right. Make sure you're subscribed to both. Make sure you hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever you choose. And I'll see you guys on the next video / live stream.